Look what they done to my song. Oh, Mom. Look what they done to my song, Mom. Oh, Lord, Mom. The only thing I could do half right now. Turning out all wrong, Mom. Look what they done to my song. We got find a good book. I'll live in it. Wish I could find. We got find a good book. Oh. Wish I could find a good book. Find a real good book.
The way this project came together is that Concord Records a few years ago purchased Fantasy Records, and in the Fantasy Vaults was a recording of Ray Charles and the Count Basie Orchestra.
It appeared to be a tape machine that was hooked up to the live soundboard. And so it was just documented the whole concert. And it turned out that, Basie's band played before Ray's band. So there was some Count Basie stuff, and there was a Ray Charles set. So what we had is a recording where Ray was very loud, the Raylettes were very loud, the band was very poorly recorded because it wasn't intended for recording.
Everybody, let's have some fun, brother. You only live for once, and when you're dead, you're done. You better let the good time roll, baby. Oh, let's get it on, mama. And I don't care if you're old. Get yourself together, let the good time roll.
I immediately called my good friend Greg Field, who had played drums with both of these organizations and knew the music really, really well. And I thought, well, I got a crazy idea here. What do you think? Can we do this?
I think it's really important that if you're going to touch this classic music that you respect it, but at the same time you don't want to just re-release what's already been out there, no matter who's played it. So we're trying to make this a very fresh-sounding project.
I'm hearing Ray's voice in here. That is working big time.
And amazingly, this is the first time you will hear Ray Charles singing with the greatest band of all time, the Count Basie Orchestra.
It was a technical feat that I don't think anyone's really tried before that I'm aware of.
It felt like if there was a record I was prepared my whole life to do, it's this one, working with Ray and Basie. So, I had that sound in my head of what I thought this record should sound like.
Yeah, my bills all to do, and the baby needs shoes, but I'm busted. Cotton it down to a quarter a pound, but I'm busted right now.
To make it work, we didn't have a clean vocal. What we had was a vocal with a lot of band in it. So whenever Ray was singing, we had to exactly recreate the arrangement at that moment. And when the arrangement is recreated and played, and you put the Ray's vocal on top, the old ghosted notes that are in the original recording disappear.
Come there with me, and won't you be my love?
So we decided to bring the Count Basie band back in the studio and recreate those arrangements and marry them with Ray's voice. It was like painting the Sistine Chapel with a Q-tip. It was literally word by word. We had to go and adjust the EQ and the timing to make it sound authentic.
We've got a couple of things on here that will be familiar to the listening public, such as I Can't Stop Loving You. But I guarantee you, they've never heard this version of I Can't Stop Loving You before.
I've made up my mind to live in memory all along sometime.
We had Patty Austin come in and put together the greatest group of Raylettes ever heard.
I'd always wanted to be a Raylette, and I always wanted to add my own sauce to their backgrounds, and so this gave me a great opportunity.
We got find a good book. I'll live in it. Wish I could find. We got find a good book. Wish I could find a good book.
I wanted to imagine that Ray was still here, and none of the Raylettes could make any more gigs on the road, and so he had to get new Raylettes. and we were the 21st century Raylettes. Whenever I thought of Ray, I always envisioned them in the back just kind of doing their little rock-out groove steps, you know. So they were so much a part of who he was and so much a part of that sound.
The first time on this record that you hear the Raylettes, it's on this tune called Every Saturday Night, otherwise affectionately known as Pig's Feet and Barbecue.
Catfish and homemade brew.
We used to open the show and let the good times roll because I like the way he used to say, "Hey everybody, Ray Charles in town."
Tell everybody, Ray Charles in town. Got $1.25 and I'm just around the clown now. Don't let nobody play me cheap. I've got 50 cents more than I am gonna keep. I'm gonna take the time to roll.
I think How Long Has This Been Going On is one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's not only a great big band arrangement, but you really hear the sound of Basie's band.
Listen, sweet, I repeat, how long has this been going on? The long and winding road.
I'm just knocked out by his vocal interpretation of it, his phrasing. It's just, for lack of a better term, genius.
You'd always leave me here. Lead me to your door.
I love Crime Time, and Ray, in my memory, always did it as a duet.
Oh, it's crying time again. You're gonna leave me.
Ray's performance of Crying Time is so sad and mournful by itself, and we decided to not create a duet with it, and I think it works. It's certainly never been heard this way.
I can tell by the way you hold me, darling.
Probably the most important track on the record is Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia, oh yeah. Yeah, Georgia.
What we captured here was one of those moments where he really brought it, and he really captured something special.
We just kind of oohed our way through it and did an occasional, sang the word Georgia every now and then, and kind of looked at each other every time we'd sing and go, "We're singing Georgia. We're singing Georgia with Ray." So cool. So fun.
I think each time he sang it, he probably thought of his mother, who worked very hard to instill in him, "You're just blind, you're not crazy."
Keep Georgia on my mind.
This album contains a lot of Ray's biggest songs. Georgia, I'm Busted, I Can't Stop Loving You. So you get a nice sprinkling of those classic Ray Charles gems with these new vocals.
Our collaboration with Starbucks Hear Music is essentially about enriching people's lives with music. We started our relationship with Genius Loves Company, which they did a phenomenal job. And so we wouldn't want to do another Ray Charles record without them as a partner.
I say, oh, what a beautiful morning. Yeah.
Everybody that worked on this project, from the engineer to the musicians, everybody involved with it really had to step up, and it required as much talent as they could bring to the table.
The guys that worked on this particular CD, they knew where they were going, and they got there. They got there with magnificent colors.
It's great that the tape was rolling and that moment was captured, because whatever, maybe there's 1,000, 1,500 people who heard it, and now we've been able to take that and share it with the world.
Everything's going my way. Sorry, but I got everything going my way.